My episode is done. It sounds great, but when should I upload it? Should I wait? Let's talk about that. You're listening to Practical Podcast Tips. My name's Amber Beals, and today I'm going to cover tip number 14. Should I release now? Your episode is done, and you're not quite sure which day is the best day to release it. It's a really good question, but it's actually really simple. Okay, you've done all the hard work for your episode. It sounds great. You recorded it. It has the right music. You've got the right content. You are ready to release it. Well, when's the right day to release it? Maybe you're second guessing yourself. When's the right day that people are going to be paying attention to when my podcast is releasing? When's the day that people are listening to podcasts the most? Well, these are really good questions, and I'm going to let you in on a little secret. It really doesn't matter. Now, I know you're thinking, Amber, what do you mean it doesn't matter? Like, of course it matters. It's my podcast. It means the world to me. Yeah, and I get it. But what I mean is that the day that you release it doesn't really matter. What does matter is being consistent. So one thing that you may want to pay attention to is what kind of podcast do you have? Is it an entertaining podcast? Is it a hobby podcast? Or is it more business related? Are you giving value to your potential customers or your target audience? Those things are what matter. So, say you have a business related podcast. If that's the case, then you're probably going to want to release during the week. This is because people listen to podcasts when they're in the car or when they're on their break at lunch or just throughout the day while they're working. Some people can listen to podcasts and work at the same time. Bless you if you can do that. I have to just focus. I can't do multiple things at once. I'm a girl. You think I would, but I need to focus on one thing at a time. So if you have a more business oriented or more of a how-to podcast during the week, it's going to do better than on the weekend. If you have a entertainment type podcast or more of a narrative type podcast, then the weekend might be better for you because people are off. They just want to listen to something that's fun, something that's funny. Then they're going to probably tune in on a Saturday or a Sunday versus during the week. Now that you know that, when you actually release it doesn't matter. Say you have your business-oriented podcast, pick a day of the week that works best with you, that you resonate with. Maybe it's Monday morning, maybe it's Tuesday afternoon. Whatever day that you pick, what's more important than the day that you pick is being consistent and just dependable on that time, because your audience is going to keep track and be like, oh, it's Monday morning. I got to listen to this podcast. There should be a new episode up. People run by habit and they like a schedule. So as long as you're consistent and your episode comes out the same day every week, then you're going to be fine. People are going to know what to expect and be happy when they see you have a new episode that got uploaded, and that's going to be great for you. See, with us, this podcast is released twice a week, and it is kind of a test. Our podcast episodes are short. They're little bite-sized episodes, and so because they are so short, we do 2 a week. And so we chose Tuesday, Thursday because it just sounded good. It's more of a test. And say you do one season of your episode, and you know what? You don't like the time that you selected. That's all right. You can change it. You just change it in the next season and maybe even make an announcement in one of your episodes saying like, hey, I'm going to change the time of my episode of when it comes out. So just be looking out for my new episode on this day instead of this day. So again, it really doesn't matter what day of the week that you do your podcast or the day that you release your podcast episode. What's more important is being consistent and making sure that you always release at the time that you selected. So I hope that helped. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. Hey, thanks for listening. If you like this episode, please feel free to leave us a review. It really helps out the show. And I'd love to hear how it helped. Also, if you know someone else that could benefit from it, go ahead and share it with them. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next episode.